Hello and welcome to another video on our channel. This time we're in Alberta. This is actually Waterton Marina and we're going to take the boat. Now the landing on Goat Hunt on the American side is open. This is the first year and it's been like 5 years it has been closed. Now we do have another video on our channel with the Waterton Shoreline Cruise, but that one didn't land on the American side. So in this video we're actually going to go land over there and actually walk on American soil.
Select the upper portion at this time. The lower section will be your return ticket to get back on at the other end of the lake. So keep those safe. Please give everyone in your group their own ticket. It will help us out substantially to expedite the boarding process. There are no restrooms on board our vessel, but there are restrooms across the parking lot behind you there. The big gray building is available, and you still have time to utilize that for our departure. As we are a marine secure facility, we are subject to inspection as you come aboard. That will be a random thing, so bear with us as we get through the process. We are limited to 20 passengers at any given time on our upper deck. That is a Transport Canada regulation. Once 20 people go upstairs, we put a rope across, and at that time it will be full. Other than that, please watch your step. Lots of trippers out here on the dock. Lots of enthusiasm.
Good afternoon, everyone. Lots of enthusiasm. They call this the snooze cruise for a reason. Beautiful afternoon here in the park. A little bit of a breeze. It looks like what there was for weather maybe has moved past or blowing across to the east, a little further to the south. So we might make it unstable today. That's okay. As we do leave the marina though, I am required to give you folks a real brief safety talk aboard the Miss Waterton here, the boat we're on, licensed through Transport Canada, as well as the cruise. So, the boat itself licensed to carry 125 passengers. As such, we carry 128 adult life jackets. The life jackets for everyone here down on the main deck or below the seats. Within the main cabin, if you're out back, you'll see some, but we keep most of them inside, out of the elements, out of the rain and the sun, so they don't prematurely weather. On the upper deck, there is a little locker at the very front of 20 adult life jackets as well. So more than enough for everyone here today. This is your final wind warning as well. Interrupt myself to give you a wind warning as we make our U-turn and head to the south. The wind will pick up. So for anyone out back on the upper deck, hold on to any loose particles or clothes, false teeth, toupees, small children, stuff like that, right? On this boat, we also have all the necessary equipment for firefighting, man overboard situations, first aid. On the upper deck, those two big white barrels on either side, those are self-inflating life platforms. So in the unlikely case that we had to abandon ship in the next 2 hours and 15 minutes, we'd simply push those over. They would self-inflate into large rubber rafts, which would all pile safely and calmly aboard. And then we'd hand out a couple dozen paddles and we just start paddling our way right down the lake, right? Get your money's worth. Yeah, if we're at the other end, we'll just put up a sail. Just joking, of course. But we do have your safety concerns well in hand. Your crew today, we're all trained in manual overboard firefighting and first aid. Now your captain up here at the helm, Captain Keith. Everyone say hi. Captain Keith's been doing this for well over a decade, closer to 2 decades now for sure. So you are in safe hands. He knows the lake like the back of his own. Your first mate, he is standing on the stairs at the back. That is Nate. Nate will be regulating our upper deck. He's also a local. His family has a cabin here, so he spent quite a bit of time here in the area. So if you do have any questions, of course, feel free to pull Nate aside. And your third crew member is myself. My name is Matthew. So today I'll provide you folks a little bit of a commentary as we cruise up and down the lake. The best part being I will not talk the entire trip. Right? I think if I was to talk for the next 2 hours, I'd probably wreck your day. So I don't want to do that, so I will set the mic down from time to time. Let the scenery do some of the talking for itself. I don't really have what you call set formalized commentary, so if anyone has any questions today, of course, feel free to ask, get my attention. That way we can base the commentary about things you want to hear about, instead of me just rambling on about things I'm interested in. Temperature's a little cooler now, not quite as hot. The wind turning over the surface, the water should probably start to cool down now, be my guess. The temperature of the water right now is probably 12 or 13 Celsius, maybe 61, 62 Fahrenheit. So not all that warm. Although for us it is. For the locals, we're still happy. I'll still jump in and swim around for the next couple weeks. For a couple minutes, then you start to lose the feeling in your toes and fingers after that. You go down more than about 15 or 20 feet, and the temperature of the lake won't change year round. It stays at about 2 or 3 Celsius. Quite cold. Known as the anti-drowning lake. You won't drown here, you'll freeze to death first. That's only kind of a joke, it's true. So now that we have passed the town site, we're making our way along the western shoreline. This is the widest point of the lake we just passed. And now we will follow the shoreline for the most part here today. Following the shoreline will be our best chance to see wildlife throughout the cruise. Pretty common sightings right now. This time of year are black bear. We've seen quite a few black bear over the last few days. I've spotted one black bear yesterday that had a blonde, black, and black. As you look around at us in these mountains, the average mountain peak stands at about 8,000 feet on average. Many of the mountains we see today have names that aren't all that meaningful, like Richards, Olson, Boswell, named after some of what we call the early European exploration that came through here in the mid-1800s, mapping this area out. Of course, at that time, they didn't really discover anything. The First Nations have been here for thousands of years before we arrived. And they had their own names, they were the guides, but they didn't really take the time, your early Europeans didn't take the time to learn those names. So now a lot of the names aren't all that interesting. There are a few mountains definitely that are worth pointing out, mentioning. One of those being off the left. Across from us and across from town, you got a beautiful view of Mount Vimy now. You can see Vimy Ridge in the valley up ahead of us here on the left. Mount Vimy named after that famous World War I battle in Vimy, France, where Canadian troops were able to take a ridge and other countries had failed to do so. So named in honor of those troops who fought and died in that battle. Mount Vimy is also the only mountain with a trail right to the top. A marked trail.
Baby likes riding in the boat as well.
Actually, a living organism that grows on the rock called lichen. Lichen only grows in very clean atmosphere, so you typically don't see it growing on city buildings or anything like that. Symbiotic relationship between an algae and a fungi over thousands of years. They're living along that rock. When it rains, it reacts with the lichen and it will secrete a very little bit of carbonic acid onto the rock, which will start to break down the rock surface, and it'll create a very fine sediment right along the cliff face. So at first you'll see the little shrubs, the little wildflowers, mosses take hold, but eventually when there is enough soil built up through primary succession, one of those seeds that blows aloft from the wind comes to rest right in that nook and cranny, and you're able to have a tree essentially go right out of the rock. So it appears, but there's a very thin layer of soil along that cliff face as well. I don't know about you, but if you don't think that's impressive, go home and try to plant a tree, right? Even in the best soil, you water it, fertilize it, set bedtime stories, and then you got about a 50% chance. And along Mount Boswell, you'll start to notice a few avalanche chutes where the snow builds up and then comes down over the winter months. And then just ahead of us, you may start to notice a very straight, narrow line to the forest. Looks a little bit unnatural. It's not like an avalanche chute. That's actually the border between Canada and the US. And it marks 49 degrees north. So you'll see it on the left-hand side first. Just ahead of us, that straight, narrow line. And another minute up ahead on the right-hand side, we'll see it as well. So here on the right hand side, a little bit of growth right along the water's edge, just going to block it till we get right up to it. But there are two markers, or two obelisks, starting to come into view for the front of the boat. When you line one marker up in front of the other, that means you have a surveyor's view of the border, or 49 degrees north. 49 parallel. The border itself there, it's about 30 feet across, and it's actually cut every year by a team of trained beavers we have on leashes. I'm just joking. It's cut every 10 to 15 years by the Canadian and US Park Trail teams. They'll take turns going up there with chainsaws, axes, and brush cutters and clearing that by hand. Do we have any Canadians? Is there any other nationalities? Anyone from anywhere else? Whereabouts? A few minutes after 5:50, and you have about a 25-minute stop. So we'll sound the ship's horn. That's how you know you need to make your way back to the boat. This is the last boat that lands down here today, so you definitely don't want to miss it, all right? So listen for the ship's horn, but you will have enough time to walk around and check it out. We'll sound the ship's horn at about 5:15 for a 5:25 departure. So when you hear the ship's horn, it's a loud air horn. Start to make your way back to the boat. We'll be landing at the dock on the left. There are washrooms up the stairs and to the left. There's a little bit of a pavilion there that talks about the area, a few exhibits and displays. And then if you want, there's a nice little pathway that goes from the left down to the right, across to the building flying that lone US flag, the Snowflake Pavilion. You can walk down there, and that is the official port of entry into the States. So you cannot go past that point unless you've already cleared customs and want to continue on to the backcountry for some overnight camping. From the end of the lake here, the nearest road, there are no roads that access this area. The nearest road from here is 32 miles to the south. We head due south. 32 miles, 50 kilometers. Anyone that comes down here from Waterton either comes in by hiking trail or by boat. So this is about as remote as it gets. The rangers that work down here, there's about 7 rangers and trail crew that live down here for the summer months. And they keep it open for July and August and September essentially, and then it shuts down. No one stays down here during the winter time. But enjoy the Kootenai River or Waterton River flowing into the lake, the largest tributary at this time of year, again quite small in size. The Janet Valley to the right, beautiful views all around. So as we come into the landing, we get everyone just to hold their positions, hold your seats until you are safely secured to the dock. Once we are, we'll give you the all clear signal that it is safe to disembark. I'll be at the back of the boat. If you do have any other questions, of course, feel free to ask. Secured to the dock.
Nee.
It just says it's a red dogwood.
Okay.
That's not good. No. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going on the other end.
You show him. I have to carry him because they wouldn't let us put the stroller on.
Baby's sleeping. So, I'm the cameraman now.
Next, Marina, next, direct with the Gilbert. Marina.
I got you on the camera, Babe. Ito. Ooh, so good.
No, sa słodkie.
It's a lot. Babe, it's for bear.
Aldi. Nie skaszli da tiutkas.
Enough, Babe.
Ето, вземи. Вземи.
Не,
Не, вземи, защото кърмиш.
не, Babe.
Айде. Лапни го. Да имаш кърма. Сладко?
Добре. Lang. 1, 2, 3, smile. 3, smile. We're gonna stamp our passport.
Okay.
Anywhere?
Виза. Ранни пише виза.
So, me. My passport.
I'm also going to put this on mine.
Какой?
Кози стъпчици.
Cool. Wala na yung passport.
Nanay.
7.
Okay.
And put some goat.
Went upside down. Is that okay?
Oh my god.
Sorry.
That's why I want me to do it. Okay.
They used to have much cooler stamp before with a goat on it, but yeah, whatever. Better than nothing.
Another 3 smile. Smile. It's a video. Three smile. 1, 2, 3 smile.
Baba se връща. He's going back.
No, babe.
Това за приятелки.
Приятели?
Да.
Oh.
Айде да ти остава и на тебе. Защо не ми казваш, че и ти чакаш за това? Искаш още?
Не. Добре. Oh, it's time. The boat will leave us, babe.
За приятелки, за...
Yeah,
Да ми кажа, че са били на щатска територия. Сашко да му помогнем за кошницата да я носим.
it's 5:15, but 10 minutes more. Three. Smile. Smile.
Selema! Не штрака. Не. Не.
The boat horn. And we're rushing because the boat will leave us in a few minutes. So cool. It's me and Babe walking. Nana is ahead of us. There's Nana. We're catching the boat. Where are you going? Oh, Nay! Wait, may pass pa. There's a ticket.
Бабе, ти тикета ще си вземеш ли? Какво? Билета.
No, nice. Go. Go, Buffy.
Wave to her bladder.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
enjoy goat hunt, not a bad spot, right? Anyone think they could stay here all summer? I got a few folks for sure. I could. So we will start to make our way back towards Waterton. Does anyone have any questions? Did I miss anything on the way down? On the back, I'll come to you. I did talk for the majority of the way down, and I told you I didn't want to wreck your trip after all, so here comes the best part. I'll set the mic down for a good section of the way back, let you folks just enjoy your time with your family and friends. We'll keep our eyes open, especially in the pine as we make our way back along that left-hand side. The nest is over that way, back off the shoreline a little way, so keep your eyes open for the very distinctive white and head tail feathers of the bald eagle perched up in the trees. If you see them, let us know. Other than that, sit back, relax, enjoy. Thank you.
So this is the easiest way to set foot on American soil, taking this boat tour. You can walk around in the area of goat hunt. You can't really hike any further in American soil, but you are on the American side when you disembark, so you are in the US. And you don't need a visa to go there. Neither Babadasha nor Nanaitas needed visas to be there, so we just went. And I'm still a little bit disappointed they didn't allow the stroller on the boat, but unfortunately they did not. So keep that in mind if you're with a baby. They don't allow strollers usually, I guess, and you'll have to carry the baby in the car seat when you're walking around there. It's not that much of a walk, it's not that long, so it's not that bad. It is less than 10 minutes walk and about half a kilometer one way from where the boat will drop you off to the ranger station.
There is another marker on top as well.
Crossing the border back into Canada.
It's just coming into the there's a marker right here into the lake.
So this side is Canada, and the side behind us is borders.
So we are leaving now towards Canada.
So just like that, much like the German Shepherd. Long protruding snout, comes high off the forehead, large triangular shaped ears that stand up on end. Grizzlies have more of a dished-in face, a low pig-like snout, and smaller, rounded over ears. The face is the best way. You can also look for the highest point of the bear's body. That's probably the easiest way from a ways away. Grizzly bear, the highest point is the hump, a build of muscle on the shoulder blade from digging for its food, whereas black bears, typically the highest point is the rump or rear end. The reason I don't particularly like to use that one all the time is because you don't typically see a bear on nice flat ground with a side profile view. If they're up on one side hill, shoulders automatically pushed up so it looks like it has a hump. So look at the face, check the hump, the highest point of the bear's body. And then the surefire way is to look at the claw length. Grizzly bears have long claws. In the early spring, those claws can be up to 6 inches in length. They use those all summer to dig for their food, which develops that hump. And in the fall, they'll wear them down to about 3 inches. Whereas black bears have short little 1-inch claws year round, used mostly for climbing trees. I always tell people if you can see the claw length, you are too close, it's too late. Climb the tree. If the bear follows you up the tree, it's a black bear. If it just pushes the tree over, that's a grizzly. Of course, I'm just joking. As we make our way back into the marina now, though, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out with us today. We folks didn't come take the tour. The 3 of us would all be out of a job, and we'd have to go into the real world, get real jobs somewhere. I tell you, this is way too much fun. Cruising up and down the lake, meeting folks from all over the world. It's a great job to have. So on behalf of us and Shoreline Cruises, thank you for coming out. I will be dockside as you disembark. If you have any other questions, need help finding directions, or just want to let me know how I did, always appreciate the feedback as well.